It is Tuesday, or it's Thursday, April 9th, 2026, 7 p.m. I will call the city council meeting to order. Clerk Everett, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Huckabee.
Here.
Councilmember Lesko Hair.
Here.
Councilmember Jensen.
Here.
Councilmember Schultz.
Here.
President Jekyll.
Here, thank you. Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I invite everybody to stand. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4, consent agenda. Consent agenda outlined below is hereby presented for action by the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on the request of any one council member. Items not removed may be adopted by one action without debate, and removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of the council president.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed items 4A through 4I. Or
Second.
L, sorry, 4L.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public hearings. Tonight we have none. Item 6, public comment for matters on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon: name, address, and contact information. Note for those on the Zoom link, please, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored, and those on the call must remain muted unless recognized to speak. Don't believe we had anyone signed up in person tonight, so this will be a first call for anyone on Zoom. Second call for anyone following on Zoom wishing to provide public comment. Third and final call. Public comment will be closed. Item 7, petitions, requests, and communications. 7A, review and possible action to proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Fort Atkinson. Superintendent Williamson.
Good evening. This is a first for me. I'm first on the agenda. It's fabulous. So as a condition for the city being named Tree City USA through the Department of Natural Resources in the state of Wisconsin, every year the city must proclaim the observation of Arbor Day in the city of Fort Atkinson. And the city has probably been designated a tree city for over 30 years. I think this is 32 years this year, 33 maybe. In 2026, the Arbor Day Foundation has designated National Arbor Day for Friday, April 24th. The foundation encourages nationwide celebrations in this event through volunteerism, community events, and the like. The city of Fort Atkinson and the foundation are encouraging many different types of celebrations, including hiking through the local forests, learning about our local tree canopy, and planting trees. All this information and more can be found at the arborday.org website. And the city of Fort Atkinson has continued to invest in maintaining its tree management and tree planting program, meeting the requirements and expectations of Tree City USA for more than 32 years, and plans to continue this program long into the future. This item doesn't have any financial impact, or at least it's not expected to the city, and staff recommends the city council president declare April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Fort Atkinson.
I move to approve the proclamation declaring Arbor Day on April 24th, 2026 in the city of Fort Atkinson.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
We will present. Picture. 7B, review and possible action on a proclamation recognizing Telecommunicators Week for April 12th through the 18th, 2026 in the city of Fort Atkinson. Police Chief Bump, nope.
Good evening, everyone. This Sunday begins National Telecommunicators Week, where we get the opportunity to celebrate our dispatch center. We are incredibly fortunate in Fort Atkinson that we have a dispatch center that services fire, police, and EMS. We house 4 full-time dispatchers, 7 part-time dispatchers that offer us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week service, 365 days a year for uninterrupted emergency services. Our dispatchers take calls from the most serious crimes in progress to life-saving events, structure fires, all the way to citizens calling wondering what day that they should put their garbage out. They're always there to answer whatever questions that the community might have. They truly are an essential group of people that contribute to the success of our city, and they are certainly a cornerstone to the work that we do at the police department. So with that, I'd like to invite Dispatcher Hannah Cleven up to accept the proclamation.
Yeah.
I move to approve the proclamation recognizing Telecommunicators Week, April 12th through the 18th, 2026 in the city of Fort Atkinson.
Second.
Motion a second. Any further discussion?
No, quick question. What happens when providing 24/7 hour service? What happens when someone is sick or has to call in?
That is, so luckily we are very fortunate. We have a very dedicated group of individuals. Our full-time staff typically will pick that up, but our part-time staff, all of which are full-time dispatchers somewhere else, come in and pick up those hours for us. And we've been fortunate with the group that we have that we can continue to be successful that way.
I think that's a testament to the Fort Atkinson Police Department and the organization. So thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
7C, review and possible action relating to the proclamation recognizing Municipal Treasurers Week, April 19th through the 25th, 2026. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. So April 19th through the 25th is Municipal Treasurers Appreciation Week in the state of Wisconsin. And during Municipal Treasurers Appreciation Week, we recognize the dedication and expertise of our municipal treasurer, whose careful stewardship of public funds ensures transparency, accountability, and the financial stability of our community. So I would like to recommend that the council approve the proclamation recognizing April 19th through the 25th, 2026 as Municipal Treasurers Week in the city of Fort Atkinson, and recognize the city's professional municipal treasurer, Michelle Ebert, and her staff, Deputy Treasurer Lance Lembitz, Deputy Clerk Courtney Tome, and Utility Billing Specialist Kara Morose.
I move to approve the proclamation recognizing Municipal Treasurers Week, April 19th through the 25th, 2026 in the city of Fort Atkinson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say that Michelle and her team does an outstanding job. It makes me proud to work with them on city council.
Anything further? That being said, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8, resolutions and ordinances. 8A is a review and possible action relating on resolution relating to Les Momet, a temporary exemption to section 102-121 sub B sub 1 of the City of Fort Atkinson Municipal Code. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. The Heart of the City has proposed this temporary exception, which would allow for grass to exceed the stated 8-inch height maximum of the city's code to facilitate the promotion and education of habitat necessary for the successful emergence and survival of pollinators in May. So the city has previously done, several years ago, we did no mow May, but since that time, we've found that mowing every 2 to 3 weeks is actually better for pollinators. So as such, we request this year that we bring forward this resolution and call it less mow May, but it's the same exemption from from May 1st through May 31st, 2026, which would allow grasses to grow over 8 inches in rear yards of residential properties and designated city-owned properties. That would be the Berry Park near the playground, North Main Street and North 4th by the train tracks, a swatch of land near the electronic sign at Jones Park, and Wilcox Park. So this is not expected to impact the city financially, and staff does recommend that the city council adopt the resolution allowing for temporary exception to section 102-121 sub B sub 1 from May 1st, 2026 to May 31st, 2026, and declare the month less mow May in the city of Fort Atkinson. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there signs available?
I'm sure there will be.
I move to approve the resolution relating to Les Mow May, a temporary exception to section 102-121 sub B sub 1 of the City of Fort Atkinson Municipal Code.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And just for clarification, that's from May 1st, 2026 to May 31st, 2026, correct?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. With that, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. 8B, second and possible third final reading of an ordinance relating to the zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property located on Meadow Lane. Parcels listed below in the thing. From suburban mixed use SMU to multifamily residential 12 MRM 12. Neighborhood Building Services Director Drager.
Yes, thank you. As you know, you've heard this one before, but this would be the second and possible third reading. This is a proposal from Premier Real Estate for rezoning parcel that's behind Rena Senior Living. It's a vacant parcel. They're proposing, will be proposing 6 apartment buildings with 12 units each. So there is no direct financial impact, but there is a future positive impact to this with expanding the tax base. There would also be a CSM that would come forward to combine these 2 lots. And of course, any development there would come forward with a site plan review for Plan Commission to review for all city ordinances. This was reviewed by the Plan Commission on March 10th, and City Council here provided the first reading on March 17th. This is viewed by the comprehensive plan as fitting. That is planned mixed use, and the proposal here would fit within that. And city staff recommends the city council hold the second reading, suspend the rules, and waive the third reading, and adopt the ordinance relating to the zoning map amendment to change the zoning district property on Meadow Lane from suburban mixed use to multifamily residential 12. And I welcome any questions you may have.
Have we received any negative input from the citizens?
No, not for this one. We have not.
Wonderful. It's easier to forego the rules and go on to make it the third and final reading if nobody's complaining.
Correct. Yeah, we definitely field any calls if they come in or any objections or concerns for projects, but we have not heard anything negative about this one.
I did like the illustrations you had in our packet.
Yeah, our group works very hard to get everything together and give as much information to you all as possible.
I move to suspend the rules and offer third and final reading of this ordinance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee,
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yeah,
Councilmember Schultz.
Aye.
President Jago.
Aye, motion carries.
I move to adopt the ordinance changing the zoning district of the subject properties located on Meadow Lane from suburban mixed use to multifamily residential 12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? So I'm not seeing any, so all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8C, a second and possible third final reading of an ordinance relating to a zoning map amendment for the property located at 23 North Water Street East and the westernly adjacent lot, parcels listed, to change the zoning from downtown historic mixed use, DHMU, to downtown historic mixed use with a planned unit development overlay. Director Drager again.
All right, thank you. If you remember, this did go before Plan Commission, who recommended approval of this with the conditions on March 10th, and then the city council here did do the first reading of this ordinance, as well as approve the general development plan for this. The general development plan, if you remember, is the specific or not variances, but the specific items that are not meeting the ordinance. And then this here would be the second reading of an ordinance that is actually changing that zoning district from that downtown historic mixed use to include that overlay for those allowances. So with that, I would point out that they are proposing to take down the existing structure there, which is dilapidated. So a financial impact would be a small reduction in tax revenue there. But like I said, it's dilapidated, so there's not a significant amount. But overall, city staff working with Premier Bank through traffic studies find that this, along with some utility improvements, both public and private, outweighs the negatives to this, especially looking at the ordinance and what it prohibits. So anyway, and then I also do want to point out that Mr. Beanfang called to voice support in favor of this, so that you all were aware of that. And then we have not heard any negative feedback from this project. I would welcome any questions further this, but once again, this is the final step for changing the zoning. However, the actual implementation of this would come back forward for a special implementation plan to Plan Commission, which is similar to a site plan review, which will lay down the specifics for cross-access easements and easements for those utilities. So this is not the final stage for the overall project, but it is the final stage possibly for the actual zoning to allow for that to move forward. With that, city staff recommends the city council hold the second reading, suspend the rules to waive the third reading, and to approve the zoning map amendment for the property located at 23 North Water Street East and the westerly adjacent vacant lot. It changes zoning from downtown historic mixed use to downtown historic mixed use with a planned unit development overlay.
I'm very pleased to see the city making a business-friendly move to accommodate this by changing a few of the rules and making it happen. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice that there are sections of our zoning ordinance that permit for variations and for to allow for some things to not quite meet the ordinance when there is justification for it.
I move to suspend the rules and offer a third final reading of this ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee.
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz.
Aye.
President Schenkel.
Aye, motion carries.
I move to adopt the ordinance changing the zoning district of the property located at 23 North Water Street East and the westerly adjacent vacant lot from downtown historic mixed use to downtown historic mixed use with a planned unit development overlay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8D, second and possible third final reading on ordinance relating to the amendments of various sections of the zoning ordinance, chapter 15 of the City of Fort Atkinson Code of General Ordinances relating to the review and approval of signs. Director Drager again.
Yes, thank you. I'm here for the long haul. Yes, so this went through an extra meeting on top of the previous ones. This one actually went through the ordinance committee on February 3rd with the recommendation for approval, Plan Commission on the 10th of March, and then City Council did perform the first reading of this on March 17th. This was pretty straightforward. It is taking the current requirement for all new signs to go through Plan Commission and is taking the bulk of standard signs to require staff review. Main reason for that is most signs go through a heavy vetting to meet the ordinance before they reach Plan Commission, which just ends up being an additional step. However, there are two sign categories. One which would be electronic message boards and signs in the downtown historic mixed use, which have to go through a special area design review. Those would still come before Plan Commission for review and approval and would go beyond staff for that approval. This is viewed to be a nice quicker step for businesses, removing a little bit of the procedure. It still comes with the same scrutiny for signs, same rules. It just removes a step and makes things a little bit easier to move along and the time frame a little bit shorter. So with that, wrong paragraph here. Recommendation: city staff recommend the city council hold the second reading, suspend the rules to waive the third reading, and adopt the ordinance amendments to various sections of zoning ordinance, chapter 15 of the City of Fort Atkinson General Code of Ordinances relating to the review approval of signs. And that would welcome any questions you may have.
Yeah, existing signs there aren't affected by this, correct?
No, existing signs are
Just new signs.
were approved. Yep, this is pertaining to new signs, yes.
I move to suspend the rules and offer a third final reading of this ordinance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote also.
Councilmember Huckabee.
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz.
Aye.
President Jacob.
Aye, motion carries.
I move to adopt the ordinance amending various sections of the zoning ordinance, chapter 15 of the City of Fort Atkinson Code of General Ordinances relating to the review and approval of signs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'd just like to say out, I'm very happy and thankful for staff to allow this come through as hopefully this just helps increase our show with businesses that we're trying to be business friendly and help expedite some of their processes. So with that being said, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. 8D, review and possible action relating to a resolution amending the covenants of Clement Business Park. Director Drager, one more time.
Thank you. All right, so this one we have not seen before. And so this would be a little bit different. This is not an ordinance, so this would be the first presentation and then would be action. These is referring to the Clement Business Park covenants that have been placed since 1999. And then a proposal to amend those covenants to change those to be more reflective of our current zoning ordinance rather than some of the more restrictive rules that are currently in place in that covenant. Some of those would be particularly 50% of the facades facing public streets. Currently in that covenant are required to be 50% class 1 materials, which would be brick and stone and glass, whereas our business park zoning only requires 15%. Over the course of a construction project, that could be become significant. Along with that, in our zoning ordinance, it allows for the zoning administrator and staff to look at building materials and if they are meeting the same criteria for what class 1 is specifically supposed to be for, which is longevity and a nice looking building. There is interpretation. So there are modern materials out there that are perceived and show history to have that longevity of material. So it allows an opportunity for that. And most importantly, it just brings it more in line with the city's current ordinances and makes it cohesive with the entire city. So there's not special rules for one place to the other. Once again, so there you'll see several amendments throughout that, and that is mostly just bringing it all in line with our current zoning ordinance. However, there are sections of those covenants that staff did not feel would be best to be removed. For instance, the ability to buy back property rather than just letting it go up for sale, or if somebody's just going to sit on it. So anyways, rather than just completely removing the covenants, felt best to make those amendments. I will welcome any questions with that. Financial analysis, there should be no direct financial impact with that, but of course, with alleviating some of the restrictions and rules there, hopefully that brings in future growth and increasing the tax increment there. And then with a new TID being put in place there, that would also be another positive with growth to be going into that new TID, which is beneficial for all. So staff recommends the city council adopt the resolution amending the covenants of Clement Business Park and direct staff to mail a comply of the amendment of covenants to all private
copy.
owners within the Clement Business Park. Yes, that's supposed to be a copy. And I welcome any questions.
I'm excited to see this in front of us, because this was, a few businesses had contacted me that they didn't even approach the city because they costed out the building of what it would cost to be in Clement Park versus somewhere else. So this is exciting. I think this is a really good move.
I'll agree. This is another business-friendly move that I heartily approve of.
Full support. I move to approve the resolution amending the covenants of the Clement Business Park and direct the city clerk to mail a copy of the amended covenants to all property owners within the Clement Business Park.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 9, reports to officers, boards, and committees. 9A, the city manager's report. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. So I would like to take a moment and thank Super Clerk Michelle Ebert and Deputy Super Clerk Courtney Tome, all of our city staff and all of the city election officials who administered another fair and transparent election on Tuesday. So thank you for that. The city saw 2,909 voters through in-person and absentee voting, which is roughly 41% of the total registered voters in the city. Congratulations to Bruce Johnson on his reelection to the city council, and congratulations to newcomer Jenner Price. I look forward to working with both of you over the next 2 years. Also, I do want to mention that Jefferson County got a shout out by Steve Kornacki with NBC for being the first county in Wisconsin to report election results on Tuesday night. So Wisconsin had the eye of the nation for just a couple minutes last night, and Jefferson County was recognized nationally for our efficient and effective clerks and election officials. So congratulations to all on a job well done. Also on April 7th, Jed Drager represented the city at a shoreline contractors and home builders workshop hosted by Jefferson County Planning and Development Department. And also the most recent issue of the Municipality Magazine that I think all of our council members received today, features articles about the unsung heroes in local government service. And I'd like to recognize Chief Bruce Peterson and Zach Navin and I were recognized in that issue for our testimony at the Capitol this winter in opposition to a bill limiting municipal authority over land in the city's extraterritorial jurisdiction. So that bill was not acted upon. So I don't necessarily think it was because of our testimony, but it was nice to be recognized in the Municipality Magazine for that. The city's loan review committee met yesterday and recommended approval, of a loan through the city's Capital Catalyst Revolving Loan Fund. Thank you to Councilmember Huckabee, who participated in that meeting. The Economic Development Commission will meet on April 16th to review that application from Tattooed Tree Books, which will have a ribbon cutting this weekend at their new downtown location, which is also being supported by the Boost Fort Atkinson program. Also this evening was the first of 4 city council orientation sessions held at 5:30. Thank you to all who attended. We discussed form of government, council policies and practices, open meeting laws, land use planning, economic development, and TIDs, boards, commissions, and committees, and all in 70 minutes. So it was pretty good. The next session will introduce department heads and staff and services to our new council members. The museum's elevator upgrade project is complete. I know everybody was waiting on pins and needles on that one, but I do want to mention that everybody was very pleased that the elevator passed its inspection and is fully operational again. This evening, the museum is hosting the 7th grade Civil War Project Showcase. This is a partnership between the museum and the school district. It allows 7th graders to share what they've learned about their specific Civil War topics and demonstrate that knowledge in a poster, diorama, website, or podcasts. And the students have been very creative from what Marilee tells us. The South Main Street construction project continues. The city's website under the city projects heading is kept up to date. So if anybody has questions, start with the projects tab on the website, and additional questions can come to our Director of Public Works, Zach Navin. Also, TDS has started restoration of the terraces and easement areas that they disturbed during the winter phase of their fiber installation project. So if you have concerns over restoration in your area, please reach out to our Public Works Department. The city's compost site is now open and ready for citizens to drop off items. It's located at the end of Bark River Road. The compost site accepts brush, mowed, grass clippings, leaves, garden, and flower plant materials. Brush under 6 inches in diameter. For more information and hours, please visit the city's website. Also note that brush pickup can be scheduled from residences through the city's website or by calling Public Works Operations. Next week is Severe Weather Awareness Week. So on Thursday, April 16th, the city and all of Jefferson County will participate in the statewide tornado drill at 1:45 p.m. and 6:45 p.m. So folks can practice both at school or at work as well as at home. Also, April 24th is when we start hydrant flushing. So that will continue through May 8th. So each spring and fall, our water utility performs hydrant flushing to prevent, it's a preventative measure to verify that our water networks have adequate flow and to remove sediment that naturally accumulates in our water pipes. So when flushing occurs, there might be a slight discoloration of water that flows from the faucet, but just keep running it for 3 to 5 minutes and it should return to normal. So just want to make everybody aware of that. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 10, unfinished business. Tonight we have none. Item 11, new business. 11A is a review and possible action relating to a 2025 year-end financial information. Manager Hostman.
Thank you. A moment here. All right. So you have a memo in your packet that I will not go through the entire memo. It's several pages and has a few tables. So this presentation will just be a highlight of that memo, but please do take a look at that when you get a chance. So goals of this year-end financial report: maintain transparency and accountability for public funds, providing a financial overview summarizing our revenues, expenditures, and financial health from 2025, evaluating our performance against those planned goals that were adopted in the 2025 budget, planning for future budgets based on past performance, and communicate the successes and initiatives that benefit the public. So I'll start with a few of our accomplishments from 2025. Completing our Public Works and Parks Operations facility and our Main Street and Janesville Avenue corridor plans. We supported the Boost Fort Atkinson business competition. We completed an internal classification and compensation study. We completed multiple contract negotiations, including a 4-year agreement with our firefighters local 580 and a 3-year agreement with our Professional Police Association, as well as 10-year agreements with our town partners for fire and EMS service with Koshkonong, Hebron, Jefferson, Oakland, and Sumner. We completed our water main and road work and saw the Ridgeview Estates and Ridgeview Lofts break ground. We also sold all 6 of those Maple Grove lots, and 5 of them maybe right now have building permits, 5 out of the 6, and I think 3 are under active construction. We also extended the life of TID number 8 and created an affordable housing fund. We supported Habitat for Humanity's first new home build in Jefferson County. We planned for our 2026-2027 borrowing. We completed a whole lot of TID planning. We hired 9 new full-time staff, promoted 8 current full-time staff. We completed a retail market study. So I'm super proud of everything we accomplished in 2025, and I look forward to continuing that success in 2026. So it's my opportunity to brag about my team here a little bit and all of our accomplishments. But all this information again is outlined in the memo. These are the things that we go through for the year-end financial. We talk about 2025 tax collection, which is actually due in 26. We'll get an update on that. We'll talk about all of our general fund accounts, 15% over or under a budget with accounts with $5,000 in them. We will go over our estimated net increase to our general fund balance, the estimated fund balances of all the funds, and then the action item for tonight that we will request is some carryover funds from 2025 to 2026. Note all of these 2025 numbers will not be official until the audit is complete. We do have a draft of that audit now, but the auditors are expecting to present it to the city council in June of 26. So on the left-hand side, it just includes the property taxes levied by all of our taxing jurisdictions. That was over $27.5 million. And as of the end of January, we had collected almost 20 million, which is about 72%. That is a very normal number as the remaining installment is due to the county at the end of July with final settlement in August of 2026. Note that the city's portion of the total property tax bill is about 33%. We are in green there. The school district is at 46 for 2025. The county, Jefferson County, is at 15. Madison Area Technical College is at about 3%, and the tax increment districts, the funds that go directly to those tax increment district funds, makes up another 3%. So for our general fund revenue accounts that were 15% over or under budget with accounts with at least $5,000 in them, we had 6 accounts that were 15% or more under budget, meaning unrealized revenue, and 9 accounts that had 15% or more over budget, which is surplus revenue. We had a total estimated net surplus revenue of just over $1 million, which is a very good thing. I'll show you where that comes from. So the top table is our underrealized revenue, and that bottom table is the overrealized revenue. And as you can see, the red circle on the screen there, we have our interest on general investments remained very strong. More money in the general fund balance on which to gather interest. So we had a very successful year there. Interest on our PMA investments was also very positive. The sale of city land was more than we had budgeted, and that was due to the sale of the Maple Grove lots. And then we had some transfer from the TIDS prior to closing for previous wages from staff. So we were able to transfer some of those funds into the general fund balance for 2025. Nothing really of concern on the underrealized revenue. That fund balance applied just represents, that's the bottom line of the top table, that just represents our carryovers to 2025. And those funds will be either carried over, either spent in 25, have been spent already, or carried over to 2026. The next item, which I don't have the table in the actual PowerPoint, but it is in your packet, is our general fund expenditure accounts 15% over or under budget. And those are accounts, again, with at least $5,000 in them. It's table 2 in your memo. There were 20 accounts 15% or more over budget, meaning overspent, and 42 accounts that were 15% or more under budget. Those are unspent funds, with a total estimated expenditures under budget of about $117,000. So that over a $14 million budget, I would say that that's pretty close budgeting. So there were obviously some that were over budget, but more that were under budget, and we retained a net positive on our expenditure side. So items that were over budget, our contracted engineer, for example, that was over budget, but our salaries account was under budget because we had funds budgeted for an in-house engineer. We didn't spend those for the in-house engineer, but we did spend more money for a contracted engineer. We had some utilities related to the new Public Works and Parks Operations Facility. We'll still continuing to monitor those accounts to see how to budget properly for them. That's very common with a brand new building to not quite understand what those utility bills are going to look like. We had some unanticipated museum repairs and maintenance. Those were overspent accounts, and then our fire overtime our minimum staffing continues to be our maximum staffing. And when that is the case, when any single person calls in sick or is on training or is on vacation or using PTO or in school to be a paramedic, we have to backfill those folks with overtime. So that will continue to be an issue until we can have additional staff in the fire department. Our street maintenance supplies, there were some increases in cost in 25, including the cost of asphalt. We had obviously 42 accounts that were under budget or unspent. A few of those we're going to ask to carry over to 2026, but really nothing of great concern on either the overspent accounts or the underspent accounts. So when we add our general fund balance as of the 1st of 2025, January 1st, 25 is about $7.7 million. We net out our net revenues, which was just over $1 million, and our net expenditures, which were $117,000. So we have a estimated net increase to our general fund balance of just about $1.2 million. Obviously, this number is subject to change with the final 2025 audit. So this represents that $8.9 million number does represent an estimated 83% fund balance, which is well over our fund balance policy. However, we have been looking at and will continue to look at with the council responsible ways to use some of those funds for one-time purchases or uses, including the possibility of paying down some of our debt, reducing future borrowing, loaning funds to TIDS for development incentives, contributions to Fund 5, which is our transportation fund, and or capital equipment. So there are ways that we can responsibly use that, but until we make determinations, it will continue to make money for us. If we use our total, so it's an estimated 83% of our fund balance if we use our general fund expenditure as the denominator there, but if we use our total expenditure budget, which includes everything that's levied, it's at about $14 million, which makes this number a little lower at 63% of fund balance instead of the 83. But again, overall, a really, really positive year for the city financially in 2025. And with that increase in fund balance, that helps us with our bond ratings. And it allows us to be able to take advantage of opportunities that come our way, being able to use some of those funds for responsibly for one-time purchases. So very pleased to see that. I'm very proud of our management team here for being quite hawkish on their budgets. So I appreciate that. So I know this is too hard to see on the screen here, but you have this table in your packet. This is the estimated fund balance of all of the city's funds. Nothing is of great concern. There are two funds that have negative fund balances, and those are the TID number 9 that is expected to have a negative fund balance because we did borrow $3.5 million for the infrastructure for the Ridgeview Estates subdivision. And in addition to that, this council approved loans from the general fund and the wastewater utility fund in 2025 to cover the additional costs associated with that infrastructure. That will all be paid back through the TID, but right now that TID number 9 does have a negative fund balance. The other one that has a negative fund balance is our taxi fund, and that is really just due to the timing of payments from the state of Wisconsin. So these are all of our fund balances with positive balances. So our general fund, all of our utilities, our debt service account, our transportation fund, our other TIDs, airport, our affordable housing fund, our lodging, cityscape and room tax fund, library, EMS, capital improvements, and capital catalyst revolving loan fund. So again, a very positive financial picture for the city. And these are the estimated fund balances that are negative that I already mentioned, the taxi fund due to the timing of payments, and then TID number 9, which is those borrowed funds. And neither of those funds present a major concern at this time. So the next table that isn't super clear on the PowerPoint, but is again in your packet. These are the carryover requests to 2026. So annually, we take a look at some accounts. Most of them are project-based accounts. We call those 16 accounts. Those are those are funds created for specific projects, and sometimes those projects or programs, such as the Main Street Dance Program, carry over from one year to the next. So we could have, we have hundreds of participants in our Main Street Dance Program, and they contribute, they pay their fees in 2025, and then we use those fees for costumes, for programming, for various things in 2026, and so on and so forth. So there are all of these are for specific projects. For example, that crosswalk LEDs, that's part of a council approved project on the council approved that project on 1/2026. So we're asking that those funds be carried over from 25 to be part of the project in 26. We have some traffic supplies, long line painting, forestry, and band shell. Those are operating accounts that don't typically get carried over, but we are requesting that they be carried over for specific purposes. For example, the band shell, we typically budget $3,000 a year for maintenance. We did not use those funds in 25. We do anticipate having a painting project in 26. So we're asking to take those $3,000 from 25 and add it to the $3,000 in 26 and get that painting project done. So I'm happy to answer specific questions about anything on this list, but this is the only actual action item for the council, and that dollar amount is $412,571.49 that we are requesting to be carried over to 2026. Okay. So overall, again, 2025 was another fantastic year for the city financially. We were able to take advantage of interest rates and some of our TID closures. As we do annually, we will review this information again when we're budgeting in the summer, this summer and into fall for 2027, see what accounts need to be adjusted, and go from there. So I'm happy to answer any questions on any part of the memo or the presentation at this time.
I would agree with you that while the numbers are unaudited, they do paint a very solid and positive financial position that the city is in, and that doesn't happen by accident.
Well done, Rebecca.
Thank you. Big group of us. Thank you. So staff does recommend that the city council approve the 2025 funds requested to be carried over to 2026 as listed in table 5 for a total of $412,571.49. The remaining information included in this memo is just for the council's information.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11B, review and possible action related to a water management assistance program for the Fort Atkinson Aquatic Center at Rock River Park. Park and Rec Director Dayton.
Good evening. Included in your packet was the water management contract for the Aquatic Center for the 2026 season. On average, we have over 40,000 visitors attend our $350,000 or not dollar gallon pool. And so as you can imagine, it's pretty complex at times and can be challenging to maintain our water quality. So with this, we work with Carico Aquatics Resources, and we have been working with them for a very long time. They provide us with chemical, the equipment that balances the chemical and feeds the chemical into the pool. And then also they provide us with what I would say, a unique level of service because of their proximity to us. At times, if we have an issue, their response time is almost, well, it's not quite as fast as the fire department EMS, but still, it's pretty quick. which you don't always find that. So they're able to help us troubleshoot and diagnose issues that pop up. The total cost of the program is 18,400, and this includes, or this is included in our regular operating budget for the pool. As you can imagine, like other services over time, the cost increases. So for example, in 2021, we were paying 12,260. And each year after that, it has pretty consistently gone up by about $2,000. Now, the outlier would be these past 3 years where we've had consistent pricing at 18,400. So we've had that since 24, 25, and now in 26. The ideal approach would be to enter into another multi-year contract next year, and that will help provide us some more stable, I guess, budgeting. So staff would recommend that council authorize us to enter into the contract with Carico Aquatic Resources for the 2026 pool season at a cost not to exceed $18,400. I am happy to take any questions.
You note that there is a lack of qualified providers capable of providing that service. If we had to go expand the search, how far would we have to be looking beyond a neighboring community?
So it is extremely unique, again, having them there. Their service region is pretty large. They help or they provide services to places in Minnesota, Illinois. So we would have to start searching pretty far, several, couple 100 miles. And then also with that, costs would go up as well.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, I researched that too, because we've had some comments about not getting multiple bids, but this to me makes very good sense.
I move to approve the 2026 contract for the Water Management Assistance Program for the Fort Atkinson Aquatic Center with Carico Aquatic Resources Incorporated at a cost not to exceed $18,400.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11C, review and possible action relating to a proposal from MRA for Performance Management Program Development Services. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. So as this council knows, in 2026, we transitioned from a three-step pay plan to an open range merit pay plan. So we asked the city's human resources consulting company to provide a proposal for a performance management program to assist in implementing this new pay plan, as well as training of our staff in how to perform these performance evaluations and a new form. So the city currently has one performance evaluation form that we use for all non-represented employees. This has been the same form since 2021 to ensure that all employees are meeting the requirements of the job that they're performing. It's very general in nature. It's not specific to any department, division, or position. Given this new merit-based pay plan, the current form no longer meets the needs of the city. As we do run pretty lean here with city staff, we do not actually have any human resources personnel to handle a project like this. So we did seek a proposal from our consulting group, MRA, and they provided us with the proposal that's in the packet for performance management development services, and the cost of that is $14,000. We did not budget for this expenditure in 2026. However, due to our lack of staff capacity in this subject area, it's necessary for us to obtain assistance for this type of thing. So we do have a contingency account, and that is about $205,000 budgeted in that account. No funds to this point have been expended from that account. So I do request that this council approve the proposal from MRA for performance management development services at a cost not to exceed $14,000 using contingency funds, and authorize the city manager to execute. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I just have a couple of questions on the, which page is this? Page 5 of their proposal. where they're estimating, 14,000, but it doesn't include travel. And was there an expectation of this staying under 14,000, do you think? From your discussions with them?
Yeah, I
Because it
think
seems a little open-ended, just from their verbiage.
I think we can keep it under $14,000. I mean, the largest portion of the contract is the build out of performance evaluation process and forms at 50 hours. So, I mean, some of that stuff we may be able to do in-house. We do have an intern in my office who might be able to, take a form that's created by MRA and, with some edits, tailor it to a different department. So, we would attempt to save money where we could and keep it right around that $14,000 mark.
Which you're all very, very good at, which is wonderful. The other question I had was, will they, it's pretty common with these kind of consultation contracts that they'd be available, included in that price, like if you have a question a couple months down the line after you're all trained, or is it going to be continued charges or software subscriptions that are needed for the forms or?
So there won't be there's no software subscription with this.
Okay.
We pay an annual retainer to MRA for their services.
Okay.
It is extremely reasonable. I mean, I think it's under $2,000 a year.
Mhm.
We often reach out with questions about other things,
Mhm.
and we are not, I mean, that's part of the service that they provide us.
Perfect.
So I would anticipate questions down the line being able to be answered.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Can I provide $1,300 a year is
That's
all we
crazy.
pay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
You
move,
know, cities our size, is it common that there's not a dedicated human resources department or person? Rather, it falls on one or a couple of individuals to wear a number of different hats and handle that duty?
Well, I can tell you Whitewater has a department, so there's at least one person in Whitewater. There's multiple people in Watertown. So it's really, I mean, it depends. I always say it kind of depends on how each municipality grew up, right? Like how they grew and which positions that they where people had expertise in the positions where they were in at the time. And so then they said, well, we might not need somebody with this set of skills, but we need somebody with another set of skills. And so that's how Fort Atkinson grew up. So as long as we can continue to get the services we need through consulting, I don't think that it is a lot that's split up a lot between Michelle's team and my team, but we seem to be doing okay aside from specialized things such as this, and of course the classification and compensation study from last year.
well, and done right, it can be used for years and years with small tweaks. So I move to approve the proposal for MRA for Performance Management Program Development Services at a cost of 14,000 and authorize the city manager to execute.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11D, review and possible action relating to a 2025 Department of Natural Resources Annual Recycling Report. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. I'm also Director Naven tonight, so again, wearing additional hats. So this is an annual report to the DNR. The council takes a look at this annually. As I said, this is the 2025 report. It shows that the city recycled 820 tons of materials, including newspaper, cardboard, magazines, etc. We did have 920 tons in 2024. I don't have an explanation for that reduction, but I don't think it's a trend. So we'll continue to monitor. John's team has some really great marketing items, and they also accept more plastics than GFL did. So I would hope that number goes up as education continues in 2026 and beyond. So the city has met the collection standard for the annual grant. That grant is in the amount of $35,177.10. And staff does recommend that the council approve this annual report and authorize staff to sign on behalf of the city.
I feel like that Number is slightly higher than last year, or has it always been that amount?
I think it varies ever so slightly.
Okay.
It's always right around that 37 or 35,000
Okay.
mark.
I thought it was like right at 35,000 even last year roughly, but I could be wrong.
I move to approve the 2025 Department of Natural Resources Annual Recycling Report and authorize staff to execute on behalf of the city.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11E, review and possible action relating to an increase in court costs for the Fort Atkinson Municipal Court as permitted by 2025 Wisconsin Act 113. Major Houseman.
Thank you. This is another hat that I'm wearing tonight. I'm the municipal court representative here too. So as I mentioned earlier in this evening, the governor has been signing all sorts of bills into law this spring, and one of those was Act 133, which allows municipalities to increase municipal court fees by up to $10 per matter. This is the first allowable court fee increase since 2013. So table 1 outlines the current schedule of fees. The forfeitures are on the far left side. Those are the forfeiture is would be like the ticket cost, the citation cost. And so you can see it goes all the way. It's every number, 1 through 1,000. We don't often issue citations for $1 or $6 or anything like that, but it does. There are statewide. These are what is allowable for fees. These are the maximums. So let's see. We have so table 1 is what the current fees are, and then table 2 is what the proposed fees would be with that $10 increase. The column all the way to the right is the parking only. So parking only doesn't have all of those, or excuse me, it doesn't have the penalty surcharge, the jail surcharge, et cetera. It just has the court costs and the forfeiture amount. So in 2025, the municipal court generated about $156,000 in revenue for the city. The allowable $10 increase to the maximum allowable court fee will help the municipal court keep pace with increasing operational expenditures, not including but not limited to mailing costs, court supplies, technology needs, salaries and benefits, and other administrative costs necessary to efficiently operate the court. Given the number of matters reviewed by the court in 2025, which was almost 1,400, the city can expect to, if the cost is, if those fees are increased, the city can expect to receive about $13,750 in additional revenue if approved by the city council. So this, I think the ink wasn't even dry on this when I got an email from Judge Franzen with with the recommendation that we move forward with this. So the staff and our municipal judge do recommend that the city council approve the increase in municipal court fees by $10 per 2025 Wisconsin Act 113, as shown in the attached table 2 with an effective date of May 1st, 2026. I'm happy to answer any questions. I hope I can answer any questions. How about that?
Maybe it's a question for the city attorney. The municipal judge does retain some flexibility on what to assess. Is that correct? Or are some of these charges that they are a set amount and
They're set.
Yeah.
But in a plea bargain, you can go up or down. So you can
Sure.
take them up or down. But you have to stay in a designated amount. You can't go like in between or something.
I move to approve the increase in court costs for the Fort Atkinson Municipal Court as permitted by 2025 Wisconsin Act 113 per table 2 in the staff report with an effective date of May 1st, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11F, review and possible action relating to the 2026 CIP boiler replacement project for the police department. Chief Fump this time.
Actually coming up this time. So In the 2026 capital improvement budget, we established funds to replace the boiler system for the police department. The boiler that's currently there is a two boiler system, and it was installed with the building when they built it. So it's original to the building from 2000. And then when we moved into it in 2001, where it started its full service. We've been down to one of the two boilers for the last 18 months. So you have two boilers, one's running while the other one is resting, and then the other takes over and switches, so you have longer life on that boiler system. So we've been running on what I would call luck for a little while as we've pushed towards this capital improvement budget year. We established the funds at $90,000, and when we went through the process of getting quotes and reviews, it looked like that was exactly what we needed for this project. And as we got into the new year, after we got our comparables through the companies that provided us quotes, some things changed. And one of the biggest things was our thermostat system. The system that lets us operate the temperature and control temperatures throughout the year. That price went up. And then on top of it, the operating system within our thermostat, which is a computer-based internet system, became outdated. So we can't use it. So they went from about $3,500 estimate to around $12,000. The $90,000 I originally budgeted was not quite enough. But if you looked in the memo, you saw that I brought three different companies came in to visit, inspected everything. And of those three, two decided to provide quotes for the project. And I have those costs for you today. So in the budget process, I was about $8,600 shy with the new information we received in January when I initiated contact with the companies that provided the quotes. I was able to work with the city manager to identify how we can overcome that shortage. And that is in the memo today where we have the funds within that loan to cover it. If you have any specific questions on that, I'll definitely lean on the city manager for a little help in explaining that. But I'm looking today to get permission to move forward to execute this purchase and this project so we can update the boiler system in the building, going from an 83% efficient boiler that is 26 years old to a 98% efficient boiler being installed today with all modern technology that'll work with the building. Can I answer any questions?
I'm glad you pointed out the efficiency of the two units. It does show that sometimes you spend $1 a day to save a couple down the road.
Yep, definitely. I think that's what the original intention was when they built the building, to go with the 98% efficient. And I think as costs got away from them during that project, they scaled it back. Probably wasn't the best boiler system at the time that they could have got, but it was the right one for that time with what the funds they had. So
And it's amazing the amount of years that you've gotten out of it.
yeah, I think we're right about where we should be with the life of a boiler. It would have been nice if it would have been replaced before I got here, but I guess it was my project to be. So
Mhm.
I move to
You don't
approve.
have to install it.
yeah.
I move to approve the 2026 CIP boiler replacement project, including proposals from Total Mechanical and Masters Building Solutions for the police department at a cost not to exceed $98,600.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Being none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 11G, review and possible action relating to an alcohol beverage license application for K&S Restaurants LLC for use at 88, 90, and 96 South Main Street for a Class B intoxicating liquor and Class B fermented malt beverage license. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. So just a refresher, the properties at 88, 90, and 96 South Main are operated as Bridge at River and Main, also Proof and Good to Go. There was one license held for the property, as all three properties are contiguously internally owned and operated by the same LLC and agent. The alcohol license covers Bridge and it also covers Proof. Good to Go, again, does not have alcohol inside, nor does it sell or allow any consumption, even though it is all connected. The owners had listed the property for sale, and there was a submission from K&S Restaurants LLC. They have an offer to purchase and operate the same locations at 88, 90, 96. They intend to basically operate the business as is. All documentation was submitted. The background checks were performed as the quotas exist on Class B. So the Class B intoxicating liquor license, we have one reserve license available at a one-time rate of $10,000. The Class B fermented malt beverage license, also reminder Class B is consuming on site. So because we don't have a Class B beer license, the sellers of the property, I'm at a loss for their name right now, I'm sorry, Jim and Krista Bowers Waterfront Restaurant Group, they are offering to release their license contingent on the approval for K&S Restaurants to operate the same location. Should KS Restaurants not be approved or their sale not go through, the license would stay with Waterfront Restaurant Group with Jim and Krista Bowers. Happy to answer any questions with council approval. This would be approved issue date tomorrow, April 10th through June 30th, as our current licensing period is July 1st through June 30th. This was reviewed at the license committee meeting, and they did recommend approval to council. Happy to answer any questions that the council may have on alcohol licensing or this submission.
Just seeing the chart here, there's no quota on the Class B fermented malt, just liquor, right? Or is there? a quota?
Correct.
Okay.
And the Class B intoxicating liquor is a state quota.
Okay.
I think we have representation from the new owners here this evening. Thank you for being with us, for your patience through a busy agenda, and more importantly, for your continued interest in investing in our community.
I move to approve the alcohol beverage license application for a Class B intoxicating liquor license and a Class B fermented malt beverage license for K&S Restaurants LLC doing business as Proof Speakeasy in the Bridge at River and Main for use at 88, 90, and 96 South Main Street for the licensing period of April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of licensing fees.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11H, review and possible action relating to an alcohol beverage license application for Chroma Art Studio LLC for use at 112 North Main Street for a Class C wine license. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. Chroma Art Studio, if the council remembers, just across the street. They had a soft opening last week with a grand opening established for this Saturday. They have applied for a Class C wine license for use at their location. A Class C wine license allows for the consumption by the glass on site or in one unopened container for consumption where the premise where it is sold. Chroma Art would be, their premise would include specific areas. It would not be throughout the entire location or the entire premise where they would have the wine. It would be for classes in the 2 event spaces and then a small office space. The wine could be stored, sold, and consumed in the areas described. Effective May 1st, 2024, Act 73 eliminated previous limitations on Class C wine license. Prior, what the law allowed was that a Class C wine license could be issued to a restaurant or to a restaurant style that had food receipts more than 50%, food expenses more than 50%. So 2024, that eliminated the requirement for it to be a restaurant. So therefore allowed this opportunity. The license committee did meet and review the application and submission. The background check was appropriate. We had no concerns. All documentation was submitted timely. And I'd happy to answer any questions, or else we'd be looking for approval for the Class C wine license for Chroma Art Studio. And again, this would be the licensing period effective as soon as tomorrow, April 10th through June 30th. And they would be applying to renew license for July 1st for the next licensing period.
I move to approve the alcohol beverage license application for a Class C wine license for Chroma Art Studio LLC for use at 112 North Main Street for the licensing period of April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of licensing fees.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 11I, review and possible action relating to an alcohol beverage license application for Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for a Class A intoxicating liquor license. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. I'll provide a little backstory on this one. So we do have a Class A intoxicating liquor quota. It allows one per 750 residents, and then also a quota on the Class A fermented malt beverage, again, one per 750 residents. So Quick Trip, Stop and Go Quick Trip, store 1502, operating at 313 Madison Avenue, had held this license. However, they had closed in September 25, therefore surrendering the license to us. So that allowed us to have a full Class A. When I say full Class A, that means intoxicating liquor and fermented malt beverage. We had gone several months without inquiries, and then within 1 week, I had 2 inquiries on said license. The 2 inquiries were Honeybee Flower, which locates at 126 North Main Street, and the second was Tipsy Trail Liquors. They have an offer to purchase the 313 Madison Avenue, which was the location that Stop and Go Quick Trip have it operated in. Since we don't have any criteria outlined in the ordinance, we had a questionnaire that council had utilized prior years when we had multiple applicants for a reserve Class B intoxicating liquor. The questionnaire was modified a tiny bit as the prior questionnaire dealt with a restaurant and food, this not being restaurant or food, so we eliminated those questions. Both applicants submitted all appropriate materials. They completed the questionnaire. At the license committee meeting, the applicants were present. They were able to share a little bit of their business plan and provide some background on them, and then their goals for their businesses. The committee discussed the questionnaire. They discussed at length the different businesses, and then kind of related them to the goals of the council and with the goals of the city. In the end, following some lengthy discussion, the license committee did recommend the council approve the license for Tipsy Trail Liquors due to the fact that it's a new business occupying a vacant building, and the license was integral to those business operations. So again, this would be for a Class A intoxicating liquor license. As I mentioned, all application was submitted, background check was appropriate, and then they do have an offer to purchase this location contingent on approval of such license. Happy to answer any questions, or I'm sure the license committee, if you wanted to add any feedback based on the discussions that you had, you're certainly welcome to.
Well, it is bitter and sweet when you have multiple applicants and only one license. You can help one and you can't the other. It's tough when you're bumped up against the against the quota. I appreciated the interest in both of them to make an investment in our community as well, and unfortunately, we couldn't accommodate both of them.
I move to approve the alcohol beverage license application for a Class A fermented malt beverage license to Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for the licensing period of April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of license fees.
Second.
I believe we were on I,
Whoop.
which was the intoxicating liquor license.
I've thought, apologies.
That's all right. I didn't even catch that.
I move to approve the alcohol beverage license application for a Class A intoxicating liquor license to Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for the licensing period of April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of license fees.
I'll second that one.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll just kind of reiterate what Councilmember Leschler here said. You know, this was not an easy decision for the three of us at License Committee to recommend this, being, you know, we have a existing business and we're denying them a little bit of expansion, but in the roundabout, we hope that this will provide a little more of an economic value to the city, so. That being said, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11J, review and possible action relating to the alcohol beverage license application for Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for a Class A fermented malt beverage license. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. Now, normally we'll see one agenda item for a Class A intoxicating liquor and Class A fermented malt. However, these were separated as Honeybee Flower was only interested in the intoxicating liquor license. So as the council just issued the intoxicating liquor license to Tipsy Trail, this is follow-up as they also had applied for a Class A fermented malt beverage. Should the license committee and council had awarded Honeybee Flower the intoxicating liquor, Tipsy Trail could still apply for such fermented malt beverage license. That's why these are separate items. So, as mentioned, Tipsy Trail Liquors has an offer to purchase the property at 313 Madison Avenue, operating a retail store. The former Stop and Go Quick Trip that had closed. All submitted application was appropriate. The background check was done. Again, we're recommending approval from the license committee and happy to answer any questions from the council. This would be the same licensing period, April 10th through June 30th. And we would immediately start the renewal process for the July 1st licensing period.
I move to approve the alcohol beverage license application for a Class A fermented malt beverage license to Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for the licensing period of April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of licensing fees.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11K, review and possible action relating to a cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping device retail license application for Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. This again is another application submitted for Tipsy Trail Liquors. They would be hoping to sell cigarette, tobacco, electronic vaping devices. It would be for sale over the counter. They would assure that employees are trained properly in carding individuals and then selling only to those of age. The cigarette licenses are $100 per year. They are not a prorated fee. So again, with awarding of this license, the licensing period would end June 30th. So then we'd be starting renewals again for July 1st. So license committee did meet and again also recommended approval to council. Happy to answer any questions on this one. If not, we'd be looking for approval.
I move to approve the cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping device retail license application for Tipsy Trail Liquors for use at 313 Madison Avenue for the licensing period April 10th, 2026 to June 30th, 2026, contingent upon payment of license fees.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, miscellaneous. Tonight we have none. Item 13, public comment for matters not on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon: name, address, subject matter, and contact information. No action will be taken on any public comments. Those on Zoom, please raise your virtual hand as your chat box is not monitored, and those on the call must remain muted. We do not have anybody signed up in person, I believe, tonight. So this will be a first call for anyone on Zoom. Second call for anyone on Zoom. Close out public comment. Item 14, claims, appropriations, and contract payments. 14A is review and possible action relating to the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorized payment.
I move to approve the verified claims as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko-Hare.
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz.
Aye.
President Schenkel.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 15, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.